Hi, my name is Aaron Bucheister. I'm a musician and producer in Annapolis, Maryland, and I recorded the song I'm Doing the Best I Can for Lee Chapman's record, Real Life. This song didn't have a ton of instrumentation to it, and I think I suggested to Lee this might be a good opportunity to write some string parts. So, I wrote a string arrangement for this song, and I'm not a genius composer like Mozart that can just sit down at staff paper and just come up with an arrangement in their head. But I do play violin. That was my first instrument, and I have a cello that's barely functional and a viola. So often what I'll do is I will, even if I'm not hearing anything, like I had the idea that there could be string parts on this song, but I didn't actually know what they would do. So when that happens, I literally grab my instrument, sit down at the computer, play the song, and just record, and I guess you could call it jam along to the song. And no matter how few ideas I have when I start a process like this, I always end up coming up with something, even if it's just a little seed of an idea. And then that seed sprouts, and the roots grow, and eventually I have a whole arrangement. So I think I made a mock-up arrangement where I played violins and cellos and maybe violas, and then we had a day where we had over some great string players to play on this record. Erin Snedeker, who's a female cellist who I play with in several projects, played cello on this song, and my friend Aaron Malone, who's a male violinist, came over, and he's an excellent composer and a violinist who plays many, many styles and improvises. And Aaron Malone is a great accomplished composer, and Erin Snedeker also does composition. So it's cool to have them over. It's because sometimes they can really help put the finishing touches on certain details like bowings and articulations. So I really like to have the players in the room with me to finalize the performances of these arrangements, because there's nothing like hearing people actually play it to go, oh, maybe make that note a half note instead of a quarter note, or ooh, let's do those legato instead of staccato, or let's slur these bowings. I guess you could call me a punk rock string arranger. I'm not completely schooled on that, but I probably do it the hard way instead of the knowledgeable way. But I'm really grateful for Aaron and Aaron's contributions to helping me make these performances more solid. And then again, Mickey Ekman, my friend, came over one day and played drums on all these songs, and we had a blast writing parts for this song together. Lots of different sections in this song, and I think the drums really brought the intensity to the different sections and the contrast. Another interesting part was Lee wanted to have another character in this song, which is his brain. His brain's talking to him, and I'll let him talk about that.
I was walking out of physical therapy when a voice in my head said, "I'm doing the best I can." And I thought, wow, who is that talking? It must be my brain, but if that's my brain, who am I?
But he wanted, at first it was just one track of him singing his regular part and one track of him singing the brain's role. So he wanted to differentiate that as a character. So we experimented with several different methods of making that sound different. And I think the method that we eventually used was I have several plugins on my recording device which I can use to alter the sound, and I ended up choosing, we had him record the brain section several times, and I panned them left and right, and I grouped them to different groups. And for one group I used a pitch plugin by Sound Toys called Little Altar Boy, which is funny because Lee is very into religious stuff.
Lee is into religious stuff. Yeah, I guess so. I'm working on a half-act mini musical about the night in high school when I was supposed to go to religion class, but on that same night the Beatles were appearing on Shindig. So I hope I get to finish this mini musical before the virus gets me.
And on Little Altar Boy, it can alter the pitch of a performance, higher or lower. So on one version of this song, takes of him singing, I pitched the vocals down, and one group of them I pitched the vocals up, and then I combined them and put some reverb on them and some other gentle effects to kind of make them sound like a different character. And I think it does a good job of making it sound like the voices in your head, maybe familiar, but also different and twisted, and almost like the memories of other people talking in your head. And I think that served to make an interesting brain character.